How you doing, everyone? I thought I'd check in. I've had a bath, washed all my makeup off, which is why I look like this, and I've put my Ednas on. The Edna beverages. That's what I call these. Anyway, not really got much to say other than I'm getting very excited now because it's not going to be long, a little over 2 weeks, and I'll be going to Egypt. My glasses are full of speckles because I've just been out. It's raining, look. I don't know if you can see it, but it is, it's raining. So, and you know what? And I've just put heating on as well because it's cold. But yeah, I'm getting really excited now. So, all that Egyptian that I learned, I've forgot most of. Well, saying I forgot most of it. I was on the phone to Mahmood the other night and he started talking to this guy and there was a couple of words that I actually understood. But yeah, my Egyptian isn't where it needed to be. And I've not read my book on hieroglyphics, which I've got down here somewhere. I don't know where the bleeding hell I've put it. I don't know where I've put it, everyone, but it's a book on how to read hieroglyphics. And you know what? I wanted to learn. You know what? Maybe I'll try. I've got 2 weeks and I'm just over. I need to learn because, like when I go to the tombs, because we're going to go to Valley at Queen's this time, I want to go back to because we're going to Luxor. Right, this is what's happening. I've been backward and forward with this because what I did is when I originally booked, I booked to go to Sham because that were the idea. And then I said to Mahmood, I went, why are we staying in Sham? Like, let's go to Luxor. So he was like, yeah, brilliant, let's go to Luxor. So then I got in touch with my travel company and I said, that flight I've got, because it's in 2 parts, I have to fly to Cairo. And I did this because it was cheaper. And you know what I'm like? I can't just leave something. If I decide I'm doing it, I have to do it because otherwise I change my mind too many times, which I've done in this scenario that I'm going to tell you about. So the flight is fly to Cairo, wait in Cairo 2.5 hours, jump on another flight, fly to Sham. That'll literally be an up and a downer. And then get to Sham probably around about 1:30 in the morning. And that'll mean I'll have been travelling 12 hours in total. Not all of that on the plane, probably about 8 hours on planes. Anyway, don't really matter. 5 hours to fly to Cairo, 2.5 hours in airport, and then they say an hour to Sham, but it's not. Probably about 40 minutes. You literally go up, across, and back down. Anyway, so I'd booked that. Then I said, let's go to Luxor instead. So I rang up the travel company and said, can I change the last bit of my flight? I don't want to go to Sham anymore. I want to go to Luxor. And there was this big hoo-ha. And then they said, we've got to cancel the whole thing. And I got my hair off. And I went, no, don't cancel. No, I didn't get my hair off. But, I was just like, forget it. It's too much. It's too difficult. I'll just go to Sham. But then I had the thought in my head and I couldn't get it out of my head. So I tried all sorts of things. First, then I said to a woman, I says, well, I said, if you can't change my second flight, I'm not bothered. I'll just get my case and I'll fly to Luxor. I'll book a separate flight. And she said, no, you can't do that either because they're going to hold on to your case. I'm like, for God's sake. Anyway, I may have already told you this story, everyone. I don't know. So there was loads of messing about. And then I said to Mahmood, I went, look, what we're going to do. And he said, there's no direct flights to Luxor from Sham. And we can't certainly can't go on the bus because that's like a 12 to 15 hour trek. And the reason why it's so long is because you've got a mountain, so you've got to go all the way around it. And it's just a nightmare. So he was like, I can do that, Sarah, but you're not doing that. I'm not having you on a bus for like all them hours. It's just not happening. So I was like, what's the solution then? So I said, let's fly back to Cairo then. and then let's fly from Cairo. And he went, no, I've got a better idea. He went, let's fly to Hurghada. So then we're going to fly to Hurghada. So literally, I'm gonna land at 1:30 in the morning. Mahmood's going to pick me up, take me to the apartment. I'm going to get some shut-eye. And then I'm going to... What am I going to do then? I'm going to get some shut-eye. Then I'm going to get ready, go back to the airport and get a flight in the afternoon to Hurghada. Get to Hurghada around about 4 o'clock. And then a friend of Mahmood's is going to pick us up from Hurghada and then drive us to Luxor, which means that we're going to be going through the desert. So I'm really excited about that. I'm going to be filming all this, by the way, everybody. So I'm not going to be filming all plane and stuff because we've all seen them bloody plane videos before. But like I'll if I can, if I'm near a window, I'm absolutely going to film flying into Cairo. And can you imagine what I'm going to see if I'm on the right side? If I'm on the right side of the airplane, I'm going to turn this friggin' heating off now because I can feel it getting too warm. If I'm on the right side of the airport, I'm only going to be able to see the pyramids. And I'll see them because they're massive. And hopefully I'll see the Sphinx. Can you imagine? I'm really excited about that. So like just to fly into Cairo at night, actually, providing I can see it, is going to be absolutely fabulous. And I can guarantee you I'll definitely be filming if I can. Hopefully I'll get a window seat. I don't know. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Hopefully I want to be sat on my own. But no doubt there'll be someone sat at the side of me. But I'll ask ChatGPT. Oh, I won't be able to because I'll be on a plane. So I won't be able to get my ChatGPT to ask them to move out of the way while I film the pyramids. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So that's that. And then, as I said, when I get to Sham, whatever, and then what's going to be good is the drive through the fruit desert. Well, we're laughing yesterday because, well, the other day I said to Mahmood, I said, how long is this flight? How long is this trip going to be through the desert? He said a couple of hours. So I said, listen, if we're going through that desert, we have to make sure we've got water. Because I've seen those programs where people get stuck in desert and they've not got any water. And he started laughing and he went, so what exactly are you picturing? I went, well, it's the desert. So he went, yeah, I know, but what exactly are you picturing? I went, well, it's gonna be hot, isn't it? We're gonna need water. And he went, so it's not like that. He said, you've got cafes and stuff. He went, it's not like, you know, in those films. I went, well, I don't care. I said, we need to get some water. I'm not being stranded in that desert and having no water. So he went, right, we'll get some water. It's no problem. So I'm like, right. And then I was telling my mum, and she went, well, has he not seen that? She was laughing, but she went, has he not seen that film, Lawrence of Arabia? Or maybe that Ice Cold in Alex. Have you seen it, that film, Ice Cold in Alex, where they're stuck in the desert with that thing and they try and get that van? It's got John Mills in it and, what was she called? Oh, I can't remember the actress's name. And I'll tell you what part she played. She played the Queen Mother in The Queen with Ellen Mirren. And I can't remember her name. Brilliant English actress. Anyway, Mahmood says we're not to worry because he says, look, we'll drive an hour. We'll stop at the cafe. You can go to the toilet, do whatever you need to do, and then we'll drive on. And then he says, and before you know it, he says we're in the outside villages anyway. So I think, actually, everyone, that'll be a really, really interesting video. So I'll show you the desert. And I'll show you, like, the villages as we're coming into Luxor and the cafe and I'll show you the famous Egypt toilets because I imagine those cafe ones are probably going to be the holes in the ground. Although I've not come across one of those in Egypt yet, but I have seen them before. In fact, I've used one before in Albania when I used to be married to my ex many years ago. I saw I saw those toilets there. So anyway, it's going to be interesting, everybody. I've been looking at hotels to stay at Manchester Airport the night before. I've actually got one booked, but I thought, you know what, I really fancy staying at that Radisson Blue. So I've had a look at it, but you know what, they want £179, and it's a room overlooking the runway. And I thought, well, you know, like I could do do a video, you know, do a video and show everyone what it's like in there. And I thought, I don't know, it's too much that, 179 quid just to kip in a room and, you know, look at a runway. So I definitely won't be doing that. I am gonna stay at the airport the night before because I'm gonna finish work, walk down to the train station because I work in Barnsley. So I'm just gonna take my case to work, finish work early anyway at the moment. So I'm gonna finish at 2, walk down to the train station, jump on train. That'll take me to Manchester, and then I'll Manchester Airport, and then I'll get my hotel. Same as last time, and I'll do a live from hotel. And that's it. So hopefully the flights take off on time. That'll mean I get in at the right time, and then I can make the connecting flights. If the flights don't arrive on time, if there's a delay at Manchester and I don't set off on that flight, that could pose a problem the other end. I don't know. But you know what? I just have to go down and just see what happens. So that's that. What else did I want to say to you? Oh, I had to pay 320 English pounds to have a piece of wood installed above the house, you know, the guttering, because it's an old cottage. My neighbour Nige, he said, you know, we could do with getting this gut, because our houses are connected, like there's our 2 and then it drops down and there's another 2 and then it drops down and there's another 2. So like me and him sort of share the same level roof, if you know what I mean. So he said I could get mine changed. He went, but it might be cheaper all round if we get it done at the same time. Anyway, he got us a quote and he said it had to be the real wood. It can't be like the plastic U-bend type one, if you know what I mean. He said we have to get the real wood. So I've had one put up, but it's cost 320 quid to get it done. So that is what it is. But to be fair, it's proper treated wood. And he said that when they pulled the old one down, it was like really, really knackered. And we were knackered because all the rain were running down side up wall where it came. And even though it's these dead thick stones, you don't want that, do you? Especially when your house is made out of sandstone. So that's it. Is this a bit of a boring? Is it a bit of a boring video? I think it probably is, isn't it? And I've been talking for 13 minutes about crap. So I've also had my HRT. Oh, you know, yesterday our Sarah's dog went missing. You know, Tedbert. I've had him in my videos, Teddy. He went missing, little get, got out the front room, got out the door, and you know, she didn't know. And he'd walked off. He'd set off walking in the direction that he goes on his walk. So he'd gone down and then done a left and set off walking up the street. Thankfully, he didn't go the other way because he would have gone onto Rippenden Road. But he didn't. He went the other way, thankfully. Anyhow, a woman at an house at the top had him. She took him to the vet. Couldn't trace his chip. He's chipped, so I don't know why they couldn't trace it. But anyway, they couldn't trace his chip, so she took him home and then put an advert on Facebook. Anyway, she's got him back now, but that was a bit of a moment, little Teddy. And that's it, everybody. I've not really got much more to say. You'll notice, maybe you will, maybe you won't, you'll notice there weren't a video this weekend, and the reason for that is because actually I've been really busy. Let me show you what I've done. I had the plumber in, moving the bath once again, and installing a sink. So, it's because I had a bath before that. But I had the bath, I was just letting that towel, you know, dry over end. It's wet though, actually. So I had the bath moved there. It was here, and it was just stupid. It was in the middle of nowhere. The bog's still in the same place. I put that towel rail up there, everyone. And then I wanted to get rid of that. You know, the old towels, what's that called? shower curtain. The old shower curtain holder, I got rid of it, the circular one, because it was too low down. I've got, my husband's like 6'1", so like when he's in shower, it just ended up going everywhere at water. So I thought I've got to have one that comes from the ceiling. It's still not perfect because the things stick to you, but I'll work that one out. But anyway, I put that I screwed all that to well, I did all that, screwed all that up, and it works great. So that's the bath, and then this is the sink. I bought this sink. It's a porcelain sink, everybody, and the unit, and I paid, you know what, I think it was 40 quid. I think that's what it was. It was 30 or 40 quid, and I drove to Warrington for it, and I did that Warrington cemetery video while I was in Warrington, but that was the sink I was picking up. And then this swan neck was actually on a sink that my neighbour at number 2 had ripped out of his house, and I went, hey, what are you doing with that sink? And he went, taking it tip. I went, I'll have it. Anyway, I didn't keep the sink, but I did take the tap off, and I like a swan neck tap, so I'm delighted with that. There's nothing wrong with it, everybody. And then the floor, I painted it with that French chic, and I've left it with the floorboards. Now, I might put a lino down eventually, but for now, till I decide what I want to do, I really like floorboards. I like that floorboard look. Maybe it's because I've been skint in the past and I've had to make do. I don't know, but I'm a skint now, but you know what I mean. And then this mirror here, as you know, you'll know anyway, I've got an obsession with gold mirrors. I mean, you only have to look down the stairs to see that. Well, and all around the house and wherever. But this mirror, I bought it from charity shop, right? Look at it. You know how much I paid? £3. But what the person had done that used to own it, they'd painted it black. It's absolutely beautiful, isn't it? They'd painted it black, but the back of it is gold. And it's an Italian-made mirror. And it says on the back, made in Italy. That's how I know it's Italian-made. And I thought, no, I'll have that. So I paid 3 dabs for it, brought it home, sprayed it with some gold spray paint that I've got, and put it in the bathroom, and it looks really nice. So all my stuff that you see has been bought at charity shops, apart from that Ouija board, which is a live Ouija, but I don't use it because there's some strange stuff come through on that over the years. And then this woman here, that was in my mum's attic when she lived in Ashton, and she gave me, she'd been there since the 60s. And then this mirror I've mentioned before, this was Uncle John's mirror. This is from the 1920s or 30s. So anyway, yeah, all the stuff in my house is all secondhand, even including this bed, apart from the mattress, and then the 4 posters that I created on it. They're wood that I got out of Wunwell Forest, and then I painted it and attached it to my bed because I'm a nutter. But yeah, I love my little bedroom, and that's, yeah, just a bra that I just left flopped on bed. So that's it, everybody. I'm done. Yeah, so there were no video this weekend because I was busy. I had to do that bathroom because it was driving me mad, and I just couldn't cope. I just had to get it done, so it's done. Although there's a leak on that sink, but plumber's coming back to fix that. He said it's probably just leaking a bit right plug. It's not bad, but like, obviously it's not ideal. So I just said, come when you get 5 minutes in week. He said, yeah, I will. So that's that. And that's it. This weekend there will be a video. I was speaking to Kenny, my friend Kenny. It's like 76 Kenny, I think, something like that. And I said, have you got any tales of Barnsley, Kenny? And he mentioned this woman, right? I'm going to look into her. She's a bit of a character. She died in the 1940s. But it's interesting, and I didn't know this until I looked into her. Her father was an MP for Oldham in the early 1900s, but I've never heard of the name. So I'm going to be doing some diving into that and seeing about that, and perhaps seeing if I can find out where she's buried. And then perhaps we could do like a churchyard visit and if her house is still stood, which I think it is, we'll go and have a look at the house. And I'll tell you a story, because that'll be quite interesting. So if the weather's good this weekend, we'll definitely do that. And if it's not good this weekend, and if I can't go out, I was actually going to go and film on Sunday, you know, and then it started raining up here. Yeah, if I can't go out then, I've got another video that I want to tell you. It's a story. So there'll definitely be something this weekend. And that's it, everybody. I'm going. I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.